Hello. Kamusta kayo? Hi, Nichel. Kamusta?
Hi Fitz, mabuti naman. Ikaw, kamusta ka?
Ayos naman. So, welcome sa lahat ng mga nanonood sa live stream natin ngayon. So, this is a special edition of Usapang Pera. We have a special guest today from PDAX, which is si Nichel. Si Nichel is the CEO and founder of PDAX, which is yung Philippine Digital Asset Exchange. And today we will be learning all about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And of course, lahat tayo ngayon dito ay maswerte kasi you will be giving us a short presentation about Bitcoin and how to make money out of it. And I hope yung mga viewers natin will learn a lot, no? Especially yung mga zero knowledge. Kasi nung ako nag-aaral about cryptocurrencies, hindi ko alam kung saan magsisimula eh. So at least we will be able to give people a jump start on their learning about cryptocurrencies. And so with that, so Nichelle, I will give the floor to you for your presentation.
Okay, so again, maraming salamat sa mga nakikinig, no? And siguro kwento ko lang din ng konti. When I first started sa Bitcoin or when I first started trading Bitcoin, galing kasi ako sa banking background. So pagpasok ko dito, parang very skeptical talaga ako. Dinescribe siya sa akin at first as internet money, and then inisip ko, kung kaya mo gumawa ng pera sa internet, parang, kung sino-sino na lang pwede mag-print or like kung sino-sino na lang pwede magdagdag ng bagong coins. So, maraming skepticism within me. So, hindi ko talaga siya pinansin nung start. Now, obviously, Bitcoin has been around for about 10 years. And since that time, ang dami ng kumita, ang dami ng nalugi. But I guess more importantly, marami nang gumagamit ng Bitcoin and all other kinds of cryptocurrencies. So share ko lang sa inyo ngayon siguro yung 5 na pinakamadalas na itanong sa amin about cryptocurrencies, especially by those who come from zero knowledge about cryptocurrencies. I believe na itong 5 questions are very important for you, especially if you want to start exploring cryptocurrencies. So disclaimer lang to those who are already very familiar with cryptocurrencies, yung pag-uusapan natin ngayon, very basic. And I also want to say na everything na I'm sharing with you right now, hindi po siya investment advice. So it's really just for you to understand Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies a little bit more. But please exercise caution when making your own investment decisions. So, yung pinakauna is, what is Bitcoin? Yan, madalas yan. And I guess pag nag-Google ka, like, what is Bitcoin, you'll see a lot of articles. And if you read all sorts of articles, ng sabay-sabay, it can be a bit confusing because yung level ng technical discussion nagva-vary. Minsan masyadong technical, minsan masyado namang simple. So I'll give you a definition or description na very intuitive. Okay? Bitcoin is digital money. Okay? Digital currency. Right now, when we talk about money, right? Ang alam talaga natin is yung cash, right? Physical cash na pwede mong ipambayad. And when you go to a bank, dineposit mo yung cash, tatatakan yung passbook mo or makikita mo yung deposit mo sa internet banking website ng banko na yun. And yeah, digital din naman yun. Pero ano yung difference between money na nasa deposit account and money that's digital like Bitcoin? Well, yung first is because yung native na instrument here is digital. Digital talaga siya, nasa internet. There's no borders. Okay? If you want to send it to anyone, anywhere in the world, kaya mong gawin yun. And because it's digital, you can also chop it up into small pieces. What do I mean? Ngayon, if magpapadala ka ng pera, kunwari from, I think meron tayong listeners from Kuwait or Saudi, papadala ka ng pera sa Philippines, you can't just send 100 pesos, right? Because malulugi ka. And I don't think a lot of remittance companies papayag na $2 lang yung papadala mo. So you have a lot of these restrictions. Pero cryptocurrencies, walang ganyang restrictions. So si Bitcoin, kaya mo yan hatiin hanggang 100 million pieces. Okay? Unlike Philippine peso na you can only divide it up to 100 centavos. And maybe the most important na distinction, okay, about Bitcoin is that it doesn't have a central bank. So walang company or walang government that can all of a sudden decide na, sige, mag-print tayo ng napakaraming pera para mapondohan yung mga kailangan gawin ng gobyerno. And so yung chance mo of yung chance of having your purchasing power eroded, meaning mabawasan meaning mag-suffer ng inflation, is limited because with something like Bitcoin, fixed yung supply niya. So those are the salient points or basic descriptions of what Bitcoin is. The second question na we always get is, how do you make money from Bitcoin? Okay? Especially now na you always hear about Bitcoin na umakyat, bumaba, umakyat ulit. Ngayon $9,000 na per Bitcoin, or actually in 2017 umakyat siya up to almost $20,000 per Bitcoin. Now, pero how do you make money? Well, actually, dalawang ways lang naman talaga kung paano kumita through Bitcoin. Yung first is mining. Okay? Ano yung mining? The best way to describe mining is by understanding paano gumagana yung Bitcoin. Okay? Think of a Bitcoin wallet as an email address. Okay? If meron kang gustong padala ng pera, you need that other person's email address, and you just type, for example, si Manny magpapadala ng 10 Bitcoins kay Buboy. Okay? Type yan, confirm. Yung transaction na yun, okay, it goes through nodes around the world. Think of them as computers who support the Bitcoin network. Okay? Itong mga computers na to will authenticate yung transaction na yun. Manny, minus 10 Bitcoins, Buboy, plus 10 Bitcoins. Now, for yung na yun, yung throughout yung whole process na yun, yung mga computers na yun, they expend a lot of energy, right? Electricity. Very intense yung computing power na kailangan dito. So, to compensate for yung computing power na ginagamit ng computers na yun, the Bitcoin protocol gives them new Bitcoins. Ayan yung mining. Okay? In other words, if you support the Bitcoin ledger on your computer, you will get rewarded with more Bitcoins. Yan ang mining. Is it profitable to do mining today? Actually, right now, it's very difficult to make money in mining. Kasi, mas mahirap nang mag-mine ng maraming Bitcoin ngayon. Last week, nagkaroon tayo ng halvening. Right? Yan yung tinatawag na halvening, which means na yung output ng Bitcoin mining nangalahati. Dati, you can earn 12 Bitcoins per block na you mine. Ngayon, it's 6.25 Bitcoins na lang. Now, yung cost nung pag-mine ng Bitcoin, right now, nasa mga $8,000 per Bitcoin. Yes, so ganun na siya kamahal in terms of kuryente. That's why it's very hard to make money mining. And sa Philippines in particular, yung cost of electricity natin, mas mataas siya than other countries. So pag may lumapit sa'yo saying na, uy, nagmamine ako ng Bitcoin, nandito yung mining facility ko sa Quezon City, I guess magtaka ka na rin ng konti because it's very hard to make money mining Bitcoin in the Philippines. Okay, yung second way to earn money through Bitcoin is by buying and selling, or in other words, trading. Okay, paano ba mag-trade? Well, maybe later we'll get into more detail, pero you can buy Bitcoin right now and you can sell Bitcoin in many exchanges around the world. Si PDAX is just one exchange, no? And ang target market namin is the Philippines. That's why we accept Philippine peso. But there are also other exchanges or cryptocurrency dealers. Isang example niyan is also si coins.ph. Pwede kang bumili ng Bitcoin, pwede kang magbenta ng Bitcoin kay coins. So how do you make money? Well, you make money by buying at a low price and then selling at a higher price. Ngayon, syempre, kung alam nating magiging presyo ng Bitcoin tomorrow, then alam natin anong kailangan gawin para kumita. But that's not always the case, right? Si Bitcoin, hindi siya laging pataas. Okay? Minsan, bumababa si Bitcoin. And I'll go through that later towards the end of the presentation, why it's so difficult to trade Bitcoin. But long story short, typically you make money in Bitcoin by buying low and then selling high. Ito, pangatlo sa pinakamadalas. Scam yan, Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin itself is real. Okay? Totoo siya. And that's because the creators of Bitcoin, okay, actually hindi natin kilala sino sila but yung actual na source code ng Bitcoin, okay, yung programming code niya, it's available for everyone to read, review, and test. And over the past 10 years, there's not been any breach of Bitcoin. There's not been any claim na it doesn't work. So Bitcoin is real, but maraming scammers. Okay? Kasi anytime naman na merong asset na ang bilis ng inaakyat, you'll always have people who try to take advantage of other people. And actually, that's very sad, but it happens all the time. Even today, you can go on Facebook and you'll see posts from people saying na, oh, earn 0.1 BTC every week. Ask me how. Or selling Bitcoins at a very low price. Deposit mo sa BDO bank account ko by end of day. Bukas matatanggap mo na. Maraming pa rin mga ganyang scammers who just take your money and then don't give you what you bought. Right? So, as with anything, not just cryptocurrency, kailangan talaga mag-ingat. And I guess ito yung pinaka-tip ko to make sure na you do not get scammed. Do not deal with unlicensed exchanges. Okay? The reason why CBSP decided na kailangan natin bigyan ng lisensya itong mga nagbebenta ng cryptocurrencies or itong mga palitan ng cryptocurrencies is because they need to put a stamp of approval na ito yung mga safe na venues on which you can buy or sell or trade. So exercise caution. It's not Bitcoin itself. It's not a scam, but there are a lot of people who will try to steal money from you. Okay, so paano mag-trade? Bitcoin is very volatile. Let me show you a chart. Yan. So this is yung 1-year chart ng Bitcoin. Yung green is the market cap, okay? Meaning yung value ng lahat ng Bitcoin globally. And yung green is yung price, yung blue is yung market cap. So, if you look at yung price ng Bitcoin, ayan, magalaw talaga siya. In fact, over the past 3 months, right? From March up until today, umakyat siya. It fell to very low levels, historic lows. But if we look at naman yung price ng Bitcoin since it started, nag-start siya and nasa cents lang siya. It was under $1. And then noong 2017, umakyat siya up to almost $20,000, and then bumagsak ulit siya. And then now we're seeing it between $8,000 and $9,000. Again, if you're thinking na hala, hindi ko kaya yan kasi ang laki ng capital na kailangan, yung answer dyan is huwag ka mag-alala because you can buy fractional amounts of Bitcoin. Okay, hindi siya kagaya ng stocks na if gusto mo bumili ng if meron ka lang 200 pero gusto mo bumili ng PLDT share, hindi ka makakabili because you cannot buy fractions of a PLDT share. Now, going back ulit, so it's very volatile. It goes up and down, sometimes 10%. There were times na it would go up 15-20% per day. Obviously, it can also go down, right? It can go down ng 15 and 20% then per day. So it's really very, very volatile. Pero if compared mo siya sa stocks, swerte ka na if yung nabili mo goes up 15% a year, right? That would be phenomenal already. But in cryptocurrencies, they're typically that's pretty small, okay? Very volatile in cryptocurrencies. Ngayon, ano yung I want to make a distinction then between investing in cryptocurrencies and investing in stocks. Sa cryptocurrency kasi, you don't have a company that tries to increase its price. Pag bumili ka ng Jollibee share, alam mo na lahat ng pumapasok sa opisina ng Jollibee, trabaho nila every day to make sure na kumita yung company and mabigyan ka ng dividends. Every day yan, nagtatrabaho sila to make sure that the stock price goes up and that they're able to pay you dividends at the end of the year. But in the case of Bitcoin, walang ganyan. The only reason why Bitcoin increases in value is really market sentiment, right? And usage. So pag mas maraming gumagamit ng Bitcoin for example, bibili ka ng isang truck ng face masks galing sa China, babayaran mo yung supplier mo, pwede mo siyang bayaran in Bitcoin. So the more people use Bitcoin, the greater the expectation that it will go up in price. Walang company that backs Bitcoin. Okay? I just have to make that very clear again. And that's why a lot of people are skeptical about investing in Bitcoin. And that's a valid reason, right? So I never, actually feel comfortable saying invest in Bitcoin. I always just say you can buy and sell or trade Bitcoin because para siyang forex in that sense. How can you trade or how do you successfully trade Bitcoin? We always minsan pag nagte-trade ka, and you'll notice this with a lot of people, you only hear of stories pag lamang, right? Pag panalo or pag kumita. Pero pagka natalo or pag lugi, pag nasunog, wala namang masyadong nagkikwento. But the truth is, there's uh, no clear-cut way on how to earn money trading Bitcoin. Right? There are good, trading habits, right? Like range trading, which means na hahanap ka ng, typically, hindi si Bitcoin hindi mo mababa ng $3,000. So pagka malapit na sa $3,000 yung price ng Bitcoin, bibili ka uh, because yung expectation is aakyat na siya. Okay? It has a support level. Or if umakyat na siya ng $15,000 and hindi siya umakyat ng ganyan for more than 2 years, then pag malapit na siya sa $15,000, maybe you can start selling. So that's range trading. Another thing then that works well for a lot of people is doing technical analysis, or some people call it charting. And that is really looking at a chart and then trying to identify where it will go. Okay. So, for example, ito to. Some people might say, "Oh, this is a head and shoulders." Ganyan. So, it signals na it's gonna go down. But again, I just want to be very clear then na even technical analysts make mistakes, right? And that's because yung behavior ng market is very difficult to predict. Hindi naman kasi lahat gumagamit ng technical analysis in trading Bitcoin. And so you'll have people who will all of a sudden feel na they want to avoid inflation, and so bibili sila ng maraming Bitcoin, or you have people who need to withdraw cash, and so they will sell whatever Bitcoin that they have. So I'll pause muna there in case you guys have any questions. But in a nutshell, I just want to assure everyone that Bitcoin is not a scam. Okay, but there will be people who will try to cheat you or scam you out of your money. Um, if you want to trade Bitcoin, just deal with licensed exchanges, because as a licensed exchange, and alam na alam namin to, yung standards ng require ni BSP are very high. And in fact, they inspect us every year to make sure na we conduct the operations safely. And then yung third is, as with any uh, finance decision you should make, don't buy anything that you don't fully understand, um, and only trade the amount that you're comfortable losing, because again, cryptocurrencies are very volatile for good and bad. So, yep, if you have any questions, I think we can move to Q&A. Or if Fitz has other questions, or if you have topics na you want to discuss, we can move to that portion.
Baka napansin nila, no, meron tayong QR code na naka-display sa ating screen. So if you guys want to open an account sa PDAX, you can just scan the QR code and dadalhin kayo niyan sa PDAX na website where you can create an account. And of course, sa mga magki-create an account at magpapa-verify ng account nila, and eventually magka-cash in sa account nila sa PDAX. Yan, we have a special promo sa mga nandito. You can put yung referral code na Fitz, ilagay nyo doon para alam nila na galing kayo dito sa live stream na to, and they can give you a 30 peso rebate. Okay? And of course, as an added value, I will also give you a free ebook about Bitcoin pag ginawa niyo yan, no? So this is limited to the first 50 people lang na mag-create an account at magka-cash in ng at least 1,000 pesos, di ba, Nichel?
Yep, that's right.
Yan. All right. So before we go to the questions, I'd like to first talk about yung presentation mo. So sabi mo nga, ang Bitcoin is a digital currency. So ang unang pumasok sa isipan ko dyan, and also during the time na pinag-aaralan ko siya, para siyang yung mga pera sa mga video games na nilalaro natin, di ba? So I remember during mga early 2000, naglalaro ako ng Ragnarok. Tapos siyempre, yung sa Ragnarok merong Zenny. So, yun yung in-game currency namin, yung pinambibili namin ng mga weapons. And then, it came to a point na yung Zenny mismo, pwede na rin namin siyang ibenta sa ibang players for real money. So, is it similar, no? Parang gano'n na Bitcoin is a digital currency. There's actually a marketplace online na where you can use it to buy things, no? But of course, sinasabi mo na hindi siya regulated by a central bank. So, ibig sabihin nun, yung price na nakikita natin na ang isang Bitcoin is equivalent to right now around 9,000 plus dollars. So, meron siyang real life amount na value, no? So, tama ba yung pagkaka-interpret ko, no? It's similar to the digital currency sa mga video games, no? Tama ba?
Actually, that's a good starting point, no, Fitz. And actually, ang ganda nung insight na yun, because nung nag-start din yung Bitcoin, the very first ones who traded Bitcoin were the ones na sanay na with in-game currency. Because alam nila na, even if it's just online, it's digital, may halaga yan, right? People will buy and sell that for real money because meron silang gustong bilhin na items sa World of Warcraft, or they get to use it in RO. Pero I think yung pinaka-difference dito is, for example, if si Blizzard decides na, benta tayo ng World of Warcraft na digital currency, they can make as much as they want, diba?
Mm-hmm.
Pero sa Bitcoin, the only way na you can create new Bitcoin is through yung mining process. And even if you have a lot of miners in the world, yung maximum na Bitcoin that can ever be created is 21 million. Okay? Hindi na pwedeng dumami more than 21 million Bitcoins.
So, you mentioned yung mining, no? The way that I understood that back when I was learning, kasi ang binigay sa akin na example ng friend ko na nagturo sa akin sa Bitcoin, imaginein ko daw na, for example, kasi tatlo kami magkakapatid, no? And of course, since magkakapatid kami, minsan we're very lenient about our money. So ano ibig sabihin? Minsan lumabas kami nung isa kong kapatid, tapos ay pahiram naman ng 500 kasi may bibilin na ako. Tapos minsan yung isa kong kapatid hihiram sa akin ng 200 pesos, etc. So hindi siya basta-basta nagbabayaran tas nag-uutangan, and then there will always come a point na, di ba may kulang ka pa sa akin 100, hindi may utang ka pang 300. Minsan yung isa kong sasabihin ng kapatid ko na, yung utang ko sa yung 200 singilin mo na lang kay kuya kasi may utang siya 200. So ang nangyayari during that time, pag medyo hindi na kami nagkakaayusan, yung nanay namin yung mag-interfere, no? Teka, ayusin natin lahat yan, no? So let's go through the transactions, etc. Ang analogy sa akin is yung mga miners, parang sila yung nanay, sila yung nagmi-make sure that all the transactions are valid, sila ang nagdo-double check na ito yung nangyari. And sabi mo nga, what their reward, ang reward nila for doing all that work of double checking the transaction is yung Bitcoin, and that's the process of mining a Bitcoin. And of course, since sobrang dami ng Bitcoin ngayon, although sabi mo nga meron siyang limit, but still all the transactions that is happening all around the world, hindi na ganun kadali i-check yung mga transactions na yan, you really have to have a very powerful computer, no? In fact, parang may nakita nga akong documentary sa YouTube na isang buong warehouse yung server na that is trying to mine a Bitcoin. So, it's really very hard to make money right now by mining Bitcoin, no? So, tama ba? Tama ba yung pagkaka-explain ko?
Yeah, that's correct. Actually, yung analogy mo about yung nanay na magde-decide kung sino yung tama or mali, that's very fitting, no? I think yung pinaka-difference lang with Bitcoin is hindi ka pwedeng lokohin ng nanay, right? Na parang may favorite or whatever. Kasi even the miners, wala silang control over how Bitcoin authenticates transactions. Kumbaga, ang ginagawa lang ng miner is sinasaksak niya yung computer niya. O, ayan. I-authenticate mo yung transactions. But the miner does not know sino yung nagtatransact, nagpapadala, or naniningil. And, yeah, it's completely anonymous. So, to your other point, actually, bigla akong napag-google because I think I can show then a picture of a mining facility. Pero if you Google a crypto mining facility, you'll see na yung computing power na kailangan to support it is really massive, right? Kaya profitable lang mag-mine if you're in a country na mura ang kuryente.
At mabilis ang internet.
Yeah. Yes. So, mahirap dito yan.
One of the concerns talaga is yung pagiging scam ng mga yung ginagawang scam ng mga ibang tao. And ginagamit talaga nila yung Bitcoin as a way to scam people. Kaya medyo takot yung mga tao sa cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin eh. But actually, I always tell people, meron akong financial talk noon dati sa Cebu. Tapos meron lumapit sa akin, sabi niya, meron daw banana plantation sa Mindanao, tapos naghahanap sila ng investor. So, maganda yung offer, parang 20% per month yung profit, etc. So, sabi ko, i-check mo yung address, ipa-check mo yung actual farm kung nandun. And eventually, nalaman daw niya na scam pala siya, no? Wala talaga yung banana plantation doon. So, they're just scamming people. It's very similar to what people are doing with Bitcoin. So, of course, legit na business yung isang banana farm. Bananas do exist. Pero it is being used as an instrument to scam people. So, what we're saying here is yung Bitcoin, it's a legal and it's a legal currency. Can you say that? No? So, totoo ang Bitcoin, hindi siya scam. Pero people are using it as an instrument to scam other people. So they really have to deal with, the best way is to deal with the institutions or companies that have regulations and licenses. Diba? So kung baga, yung example natin ng banana plantation na company na naghahanap ng investment, syempre pwede nilang i-check sa SEC kung registered ba tong company na to, license ba to, etc. And in the case of yung mga nag-o-offer ng mga Bitcoin investments, no, they have to check kung saan siya registered, sino yung nagre-regulate. And I think that's the beauty of PDAX kasi finally, there's an exchange, a cryptocurrency or a Bitcoin exchange na talagang naka-register sa Pilipinas. Meron kayong opisina na pwede nilang puntahan, di ba? And you have all the licenses and coming from the BSP mismo, no? That's why it's really important to deal with the PDAX and yung mga legal exchanges kasi of course pinaghirapan natin yung pera natin and we don't want people to get scammed. All right. So siguro with that, I'd like to again invite everyone to open an account with PDAX. Libre naman, di ba? Wala namang bayad. You don't have to deposit, di ba?
That's correct. Libre po magbukas ng account, libre po create an account para you can go in and then you can, familiarize yourself with how it works kahit wala ka pang pinapasok na pera.
Yes, oo. So, for convenience, they can just scan the QR code that we're showing on the screen. And then when the time comes that they want to they want to invest or they want to deposit real money do sa account nila so that they can try making money from Bitcoin. Yan. We have a special promo. If you're the first 50 people who will cash in or deposit at least 1,000 pesos, you'll get a 30 peso rebate and a free ebook if you use yung ating referral code no na FITZ, FITZ. So during the cash in process no, itatanong sa kanila yung referral no. So I'll just show yung screen. Yan. Yan. So makikita niyo yung screen na yan and yung referral code, ilagay niyo yung pangalan ko para alam ko na you learned about PDAX ito sa stream natin and then yun nga, you will have a reward of 30 pesos na rebate. So kung nag-deposit ko yun ng 5,000, magiging 5,030 na siya. Plus, I think mas exciting, you will get a free ebook about Bitcoin that I will send to your email. So tatanungin ko si PDAX, sino ba yung mga nag-register using my referral code? I'll ask for your email address and then send you the free ebook to your email.